opened up a little bit more now for you guys?
We were just able to mix it up and use more stuff and more things. But we still got a lot of young kids out there that we gotta keep it simple so that they know which direction they're going in.
You mentioned that you were looking to stretch the field a little bit. Did you get what you were looking for, at least from that standpoint, from Jeff?
Well, I thought that Jeff was a threat to see what's going on and put the ball out there. We need to do a really good job this week of getting our kids to challenge the ball down the field. I thought Malik had 3 or 4 times where he was one-on-one deep down the field, and Jeff gave him an opportunity at the ball. So we need to challenge him a little more to go up and make a more competitive challenge for the ball. I think Dom had one on their sideline also that I thought he gave him a chance at the ball. We just got to go up and challenge it.
What's the process of learning from those kind of mistakes that Jeff made? Just as he gets experience, like how do you go about correcting those things?
Well, one turnover with Malik in the back of the end zone, he was behind him, and his angle should have been a little bit deeper. Jeff didn't recognize the coverage, so he double clutched and threw it late. If he would have saw it, if he was really focusing on the right thing, he would have saw it and took one hitch and threw it way in the back of the end zone. We probably got a touchdown. Then the one in the third quarter that was a killer, we had a play where Larry set a little too deep, so Rayvon didn't get out fast enough. And Lewis on his route running across was headed back towards the line of scrimmage where he should have stayed flat. And then Jeff threw it behind him. So there's a lot that went on in the play, but ultimately the quarterback threw the ball. And then the one late in the game that turned it into a blowout, he just decided I'm going to go to Mikey, which, we tend to do that at quarterback, here. But it wasn't the right decision. He was covered. The guy, Ricky was, or Kermani was open on top of him. So, I think that all three are correctable. The two of them, he was going to the right spot on the field with the ball. Just didn't deliver the ball accurate enough. And then the one at the end was a bad decision. He made his mind up before he got the ball.
How about the offensive line? What did you see from such a young group?
I thought that they did a really good job. It really, they kept him in the pocket. They kept a clean pocket for him so he can stand back and see what's going on. I thought those two tackles did a really good job against some exotic line games, but they're really big. They're really long. I thought Larry and Alex, on one side really communicated well together. And then Nicky says that, him and Badarian really were in sync and communicating well. And, Doug in the middle, which is another freshman. I thought he did a good job. So I'm looking forward to moving forward with those guys. Kind of getting in sync as an offensive front.
What do Alex and Larry, game to game, week to week, what have you seen out of their strengths, and are they feeling comfortable as Big Ten offensive linemen?
Well, I think that this was the first game where Larry really felt comfortable out there. He was in condition. I don't think he got as tired as he normally did. I think it's because he practiced a lot harder than he did the week before. A lot of people think that, no, you got to not practice as hard so you're fresh for the game, but it's the total opposite. You got to give it all at practice so that you're fresh for the game. And I think that he bought into that last weekend. And then Badarian is just so big and so long and athletic that, the future looks bright with those two guys, as bookend tackles. And they're big enough to be real Big Ten tackles.
How was Vidarian standing?
He did well late in the game when the game got out of hand. I thought mentally he kind of gave in and stopped, but for, 3 quarters or so, he played really well. There's one early in the game where we were where he was on a double team. He knocked the guy back and knocked the guy down. Just probably his 5th snap of his career that he can, show what size and strength can do for you.
Chase Crouch, as a receiver, was that a skill set you knew was there, or did that emerge?
Well, when we talked to Chase about, going in a different direction at quarterback, a lot of people thought Chase would take it a certain way. I was not one of those guys. Chase just, he said, I just want to help. And Chase Crouch is one of the top competitors that we have. And, you got to find a way to get more competitors on the field. And no one can ever question if that kid's going to compete when he gets out there. And I think he has a skill set that can help us. So I'm looking forward to moving forward with Chase. Chase is one of my guys. I wanted to make sure he knew that this has nothing to do with me and you. He's one of my favorite guys. But he's a competitor. I know he's going to go out and play hard every snap.
What did second team reps do for Cam last week and going into this one?
Good. Cam's growing every day. Cam is future's bright with Cam. Just with his natural ability, his big hands, as I always talk about, he can really throw the ball hard. His foot speed, his overall athletic ability. Cam was a really good get for us. With our evaluation of him, because not many people thought that Cam was as talented as he really is. So it's just good to see that the evaluation works.
When he had a team that obviously struggled around him, I mean, what do you need to see? What did you need to see during the evaluation with him?
I wanted to get him on the board, see if he understood football. He does. His dad was a coach. I know he could really run, but I wanted to see if he could consistently deliver the ball. And I was able to go to a couple of his practices when we were evaluating and see him just deliver the ball over and over and over and be accurate with the ball and have velocity on the ball. He has a big arm. He can overpower defenses with his arm. We're really excited about Cam. He's doing really well on and off the field right now.
What did you see from Kermani? Do you see his confidence level growing?
Kermani's growing fast. He's competitive. He's got speed. He's a competitor. Him and Ricky are playing the same position. They're both very competitive. They both spend a lot of time talking about who should be playing and who should be off the field, which I like. I want them to be competitive like that. So it's good to see Kermani out there doing well.
You've got several different types of running backs, just what their strengths are. How does that allow you maybe to mix and match for different looks you want to put out there?
Well, what we did in the game last week, when we were in spread out formations where the field was going to be spread, we wanted Reggie in there as a slasher because there's more room for him. That's more of his skill set. And we were going to be closed and banging the ball in there. We wanted Mike and Rayvon in there, banging the ball for us. So we tried to use their skill set based on personnel groupings and where the defense was going to be. And I think that's how we saw Reggie crease one, because they were spread across the field. So that's what we're trying to pull off, is just get everybody to use their skill set the best.
Maybe change your pace back is kind of like the phrase, but when you can change pace kind of back and forth consistently, does that make the offense more dynamic?
I think it does. It gives the linebackers different looks because the backs are hitting tracks at different pace. Rayvon hits it at a different pace than Reggie and Mike does. So it's for the linebackers that are trying to hit their gaps and fit the runs, it gives them a different pace. I think that's what that change is.
How'd you assess the offense with Jeff George Jr.?
It wasn't good enough. We didn't win. And that's what this is all about. It's not about playing better. It's not about anything but winning. But to win, we got to realize there's a process to winning. You got to play good for 60 minutes in the Big Ten, especially when you're as young as we are and you're playing against experienced people that know how to win games. That they're going to, keep doing what they do and see if they can get us to crack first. And what we got to do is hang in there with them and get them to crack. And I think in that game with those turnovers, especially in the second and third quarter, they got us to crack first.
Had a little wrinkle with number 7 out there at the H-back tight end position. When did you make that decision and know that he could do something like that?
Well, you always know that Chase is a really good athlete, but Chase is one of the top competitors that we have. So, just because he's not going to be playing quarterback doesn't mean that he's not going to be able to get out there and help us, because no one will ever question if he's a competitor or not. And I think he has some skill set that really can help us in a position where we need help.
Is that a permanent transition, or is he still potentially could be a quarterback?
He's doing both now. He's slash now. He's playing.
Quarterback slash
Yeah, he's
tight
playing
end?
a couple of different positions.
Is that what you would call him? Quarterback tight end?
I would call him just slash.
Just a slash.
Can he play guitar?
I don't think so. I don't think he can dance either.
This Rutgers team, what challenges do they represent for you guys?
That they play a completely different defensive structure than we've been playing against. So our guys have to really learn, this structure and how the rules work for this type of defense. It's a different, 3-down defensive structure when normally we play against 4-down structure, and we practice against 4-down. So our young line's going to have to, really do a good job of studying and understanding how our rules work versus this structure of defense.
Speaking of young line, 4 freshmen out there, how do you think they did that?
They did a really good job. Doug. A lot of times I forget that Doug is a freshman also because he's been around here. But yeah, we started with 4 of those guys, and Nikki right there with them. And Nikki did a good job of leading them, and those 2 tackles did a really good job in the game of really fighting and competing. Jeff had a lot of space to throw the ball. Wasn't much pressure back there for him, so I'm really looking forward to getting an offensive line and getting 5 guys that they can get in rhythm and get in sync with each other on the practice field.
How's Mike Epstein?
He's doing good. He had a setback in the game, but he's doing good. We hopefully we get him back. He's one of those kids that'll just try to play regardless. He doesn't realize we have other good players on the sideline also that can get out there. Just a very competitive guy, but I think it'll be fun.
Do you guys think it's very serious?
No, I don't think so.
Thanks, Coach.